Hey guys, welcome to Braddles Gaming and to another episode of my Far Cry 5 custom map series. In this series, I show you guys the maps that I have made in the Far Cry 5 map editor. Now, this isn't the first time you're seeing Per City Paintball. I actually created this way back in February of this year, and that marked a special moment for the channel, as it was the first time I delivered one of my custom maps to you as a fully commentated map speed build. In other words, the first map on this channel where I showed you the entire process of me building the map from start to finish, with commentary over the top of that speed build, detailing everything you need to know about that map in terms of its inspiration, design, and construction. Now, Per City Paintball actually started out as a solo co-op bounty hunt map, submitted for a fellow Far Cry content creators map building theme challenge, Sam Builds Australian themed Community Creations Map Building Challenge. This map building challenge only accepted solo co-op game modes and no multiplayer, and so today you're not only going to get to see the inspiration behind why this map was built, but also some significant changes to this map's second version, which is as a team deathmatch player vs player map. This includes a very special Easter egg reveal that took place over 8 months ago on one of Sam Build's livestreams actually, but will now also be seen officially on my channel in today's video. But before we get to the Easter egg, here's a little background behind the inspiration of Per City Paintball. Now, Sam or Sam Builds is an excellent Far Cry content creator on YouTube and pioneered the video concept of Far Cry speed build commentaries. Since 2018, him and I have been able to become good Xbox friends through our collective love of Far Cry map building, and he's also a really nice guy. He was kind enough to let me borrow the video concept of speed build commentaries for my own YouTube channel, which is what part 1 of Per City Paintball shows, a fully commentated speed build of this map from start to finish. Sam also lives in the same city that I do in Australia called Perth, and this combined with the fact that I had never participated in one of Sam's map building themed challenges formed the catalyst to which I decided to build Per City Paintball, a map that Sam, I, and any other person from Perth could truly appreciate. Now, the map itself is not in a very stereotypical Australian location, as it doesn't take place in the outback, but in an inner city park across the river from Perth's central business district. Resultantly, I knew I had to pay homage to our city of Perth in the best way I knew how, by giving the map a completely unique edge that only really people from Perth could truly appreciate, creating the illusion of the Perth city skyline through the usage of generic shapes off in the distance, so that the map not only fit with the Australian theme, but it would also give someone from Perth, i.e. Sam, a real kick, seeing that their city skyline was reproduced in a video game, let alone the city of Perth, which happens to be one of the most isolated and lesser known cities on Earth. So that explains why I decided to build this map from a geographical point of view, but why paintball? Well, for those of you that don't know me very well yet, one of my map building specialties in Far Cry 5 has been paintball maps. They're super fun and easy to put together, and I already have 2 other paintball maps, the OG Outback Paintball, which is in more of a stereotypical Australian setting, and Oppression Paintball, in a more harsh, wintry setting. Sam, being the kind person that he is, has always had something super positive to say about my paintball maps, and so I knew building another paintball map would do no harm, as it is a type of map that Sam seems to be quite fond of. So that's the inspiration behind why Per City Paintball was built. Now let's get into some of the significant changes I made to this map in transitioning it from bounty hunt to team deathmatch. Now, thankfully, due to the structure of the map being based around a paintball field, I didn't really have to make any structural changes to the map except for an additional pathway for the player leading up into an existing elevated position. What was known as the final room in the bounty hunt version is now an elevated position for players in the team deathmatch version to eliminate enemies from. The final room in the bounty hunt version previously didn't have any way that you could gain access to it, unless you had eliminated all the bounty hunt targets in the map, upon which a script I implemented would teleport you up there. However, in the TDM version, I've added a small custom-made medieval siege tower, connecting players from the paintball field into the final room seamlessly, via an enclosed ladder within the siege tower structure. Now, whilst this gives players an extra area to where they can eliminate enemy players from, the final room has even more significance when you consider how he changed it, in light of some very exciting news that Sam shared with all of his subscribers earlier this year, that he and his partner Emma had become engaged. As such, I changed the internals of the final room slightly, making it a little more mazy so a level of suspense could be built when Sam eventually found his way to the very special Easter egg I added in memorandum of this exciting news. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for. You guys now get to sit back, relax, and watch this very wholesome moment when Sam and his partner Emma, who can be heard in the background, reacted live to seeing this Easter egg for the very first time, which also happened to be when Sam was streaming on his channel, so fortunately it will forever be engraved in the YouTube history books.
Well, hey Braddles, right, want to show me this Easter egg, dude? Oh, I see, okay, I was, created by Braddles Gaming YouTuber, shout out to Scarecropus. That's a WA thing, guys. I'm not even going to try and explain that one. Watch Braddles Gaming YouTube. Yep, absolutely. As we suggested, he wants me to break this. Okay, it keeps going. This is quite the maze. Some work has been done. There we go. Oh. Sorry guys, I probably just destroyed your ears. My headset just scraped the microphone as I turned around to look at him. Oh, thanks so much, Braddles. That's so cool. That is so cool. Cheers, man. Really appreciate that. I don't know why I'm teabagging. That has ruined the moment. But thank you. Em is covering her mouth. She thinks that is, yeah, we're both shocked by that. That's so cool. Thanks, man.
So that's the reaction, very wholesome indeed. I still crack a smile whenever I see that, and I tend to watch that over and over again because it's just such an infectious, positive, happy moment. But, you know, I definitely recommend watching that very special stream as well, if you like to. It's stream number 13 on SamBuild's YouTube channel, and by watching that stream, not only do you get to watch a quality content creator in SamBuilds, but you also get to see the lead up to Sam finding that Easter egg, and all the very positive aftermath following it. And finally, this gameplay breakdown of Purse City Paintball wouldn't really be complete without me giving you an actual gameplay breakdown of this map in action, as is customary from all the gameplay breakdown videos I have done of my own custom map creations in the past. And so now, after 8 long months, you guys finally get to see an entire game of Purse City Paintball in action, alongside key intel as to how this map plays, what are its pros and cons, and tips you can use if you happen to play this map. So how does this map play? Well, the map is quite chaotic, and being a paintball map, understandably it is definitely a faster paced map. As you probably noticed, there are lots of wide open expanses in this paintball field, meaning that if you're standing out in the open, oh boy, you're in for a long day. Players often find refuge on this map around their spawns, where massive shelters have been placed to reduce spawn killing and increase each team's defensive capabilities. Players also seem to like the central castle structure in the middle of the map, including the verticality and 360-degree views that it provides. I did notice the majority of players didn't actually use the siege tower or the elevated vantage point that much, but that can just be because most people are only worried about what's in front of them and are a little less explorative given the hardcore circumstances of the map with the one-shot kills player modifier turned on. Also, to get to the siege tower, it is kind of out of the way and you have to be quite daring to get to it, running into open space and then climbing up a ladder which leaves you completely vulnerable whilst you're climbing up it, before you can make the most out of that spot. But nonetheless, I'm really glad to see how this map is so well balanced. Neither team has a severe advantage over the other, and the one-shot kills player modifier really evens everyone out, making the game high scoring and close the whole way through. So I've already alluded to some of the pros during that brief overview of how the map plays, but what are some of the map's other pros? Well, that Purse City skyline in the background, I personally am really proud of. I I'm really proud of how it came together. It really does look from Perth if you look at it from the angle that I based this map in. For reference, I based this map in a park called Sir James Mitchell Park, if you guys want to look that up on Google. That's where this map is actually based. It's not a real life location. Trying to put up a pop-up paintball field in the middle of suburbia isn't really something that's very possible here in Australia with all the regulations and restrictions, so it's much more of a fantasy reality, if anything. The other pro of the map is, well, I think the layout of the map in terms of the size and the different options it provides to players in terms of short, medium, and long range engagements, but also with differing levels of verticality. You've got your kind of spawn shelter, which has a little bit of a level up. You've got the middle castle structure, which provides great 360-degree views, as I mentioned earlier. And then you've obviously got the siege tower and the final room, which, you know, is a bit OP, I will admit. And that kind of leads me into one of the cons for this map. And that is that if you have the LMG, or if you have any weapon and you're in that final room, it makes for a very OP camping spot. Now, I don't think it's a game breaker, especially because, you know, you can definitely take people out from there, but maybe a mitigation strategy I could use in the future if it does get out of hand is just to reduce the amount of cover that players up there get. Now, one thing everyone might be wondering is why I based this around a medieval sort of theme. Well, like I mentioned, this map is intended to be kind of like a pop-up paintball arena, kind of something that is just temporary. And that's why all the structures are wooden, because they're meant to kind of symbolize prefabrication and the ease of being able to be disassembled and assembled at ease. And I also kind of just wanted to do a medieval theme because it's something that I've always wanted to do in a Far Cry map, but haven't really had the skills or expertise to pull off. So I decided to do a very simple kind of medieval themed map with Per City Paintball. And, you know, I think it comes across really well, even if it's not like a grandiose type of creation. Like some of the other castle creations I've played in the Far Cry 5 map editor by some of the more experienced map creators, they are definitely super awesome, and I don't think I'll be recreating those anytime soon. The final two pros are obviously the gameplay modifier, the one-shot kills player. Really kind of evens everyone out, and there's minimal spawn killing, not just due to the defensive shelters that you get out of your spawn, but I've also implemented shared spawn points, and so yeah, that basically just allows players to spawn in a different part of the map if their spawn is being engulfed in enemy players. Lastly, we'll finish with tips for this map. And yeah, if you want the best advantage that this map has to offer, climb the siege tower to the final room. Use the small silhouettes and the covers to surprise enemy players. And this one's probably pretty self-explanatory, but make sure to be behind a cover at all times, making use of the peek cover animation to both look and fire at enemies, whilst minimizing the window of time that enemies have to shoot at you. And finally, just choose the gun you're most familiar with. I had a question from someone a while ago about why I have different loadouts in my paintball map if the one-shot kills player modifier is on. And I think that each gun, whilst will all have the same damage output, they all feel a little bit different, and so you should just use the gun that you're most comfortable with using. But without further ado, thank you very much for checking out my channel and this video. Please remember to give it a like if you enjoyed the video, the map, or just want to send out well wishes to Sam and Emma on their wonderful engagement. Also, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon for future channel notifications if you're new around here. I don't post often, so don't worry about receiving tons of spam notifications in your inbox, but at the same time, I would massively appreciate if you could hit that bell icon, as it does wonders for this channel and this small but cozy community we got going on here at Braddles Gaming. But otherwise, I'm Braddles Gaming, I'm signing out now. and remember to have yourselves a great day.